Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Saturday Show. My name is Tracy. I am so glad that you joined me. And before I get started with paying my bills, I do have an announcement about this show I want to make. This is the last episode of this show until, let me get the date. I believe it is January the 24th, 2026. So I won't be, every December I take my extended break from podcasting. It starts the 13th, which is actually today. No, it starts the 14th, which is tomorrow, and it goes all the way until for this show, January the 24th, 2026. I may play some old shows, may stay off the net for a while, but just keep in mind this is the last episode of the Saturday show until January the 24th, 2026. And the time of the show will change to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's because my other show is moving to Thursdays. So the Saturday show will move to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, January 24th, 2026. Mark that date on your calendars. So I can get to that and let's start paying some bills. Um, Hit that subscribe button. Does not look like I'm going to make it to 1,000 like I wanted to, but at least if I can make it to 400 by the end of the year, that would be fantastic. Um, so hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button so that you know when I am going live. Support me on Patreon. Patreon support starts at $2 a month. You will get shows that will only be behind the firewall, plus all the episodes of the podcast, but exclusively, if I can get if I can get my words out my mouth, um, blue jeans and high heels will only be available to those that are Patreons. Patreon support starts at just $2 little dollars a month. That's 50 cents a week. Um, Support my GoFundMe campaign. You know what I'm trying to do. Please help me to help my house situation. And finally, join the Tracy Media Group mailing list. It's a free mailing list. I will start doing newsletters again, just to kind of keep you up to date what's going on. So let's get started. Make sure if you're watching to comment hello. um, Talk about your favorite characters from the show The Transformers. Uh, that is absolutely understandable, but if you could hit that subscribe button, that also helps me get more um, people to this channel. So I definitely understand that. That's why I started a GoFundMe campaign because I don't have it either. I wish I didn't even have to ask, but I do. So we're going to talk about a cartoon of the 80s. You see this um, show title called Ranking Transformers. And I grew up with this show, of course, being a child of the 80s. And when did trans Thank you very much for your subscription. I definitely appreciate that. That helps me to get 400. So anything you could do to help, and also share the episode. If you share it, there may be somebody out there with $2,500 just kind of like waiting to support, but that's them. So let's get started. So, like I said, I started watching the Transformers as soon as it um, um, came on. I mean, it came on, I want to say 1984. I'm looking it up real quick on the back screen here. Why is this not giving me what I want? Because I'm typing it now. Yeah. Okay. So I was correct. I was 10 years old. It was September the 17th, 2024 that the show went on the air. So, giant alien Autobots and evil Decepticon robots capable of transforming into vehicles and other objects wage war with Earth's fate at stake. So, this show stayed on from 84 until 88. Um, and I forget what planet they were from, but I thought they were from, and this is me going by memory. So please, everybody, just kind of uh, put your comments in here because I'm not 100% certain if I have all the facts right. But I thought they were all from the same planet, and somehow they came to Earth, and like they were warring on whatever planet they were on, and then they started warring here on planet Earth, I think. But I'm reading this. Da, 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 and of course, they sold toys. Um, okay, so, but I think the GoBots were first. I'm almost certain that the GoBots came before the Transformers, but nobody liked the GoBots. So anyway, I decided, you know what? I really love this cartoon. That was the tomboy in me. I don't remember having Transformer toys as a child, but I remember like my male cousins and my brother, I think, had some toys, and I would like low key want to play with them. But of course, I was into dolls, and that was the stereotypical thing back then. But I had some characters that I really loved, and some um I didn't some I didn't like and I didn't understand their like point. And so I'm going to just start off with this is in no particular order. Just no particular order. I didn't rank them like 5 to 1 or 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. Um I'm just gonna start talking about um them. So like I said, there's no um okay, Marlon. So you have a link in your messenger and you were supposed to be here. But yes, God was right. GoBots came before the Transformers in form of the toy line. But who had the cartoon first? I thought the Transformers had the cartoon first and then the GoBots copy. But yes, I was correct in saying that the GoBots came before the Transformers in the form of the toy line, which again, low key, as a little girl, 10 years old, I wanted that toy line so badly. But I'm like, they never made anything that little girls could play with, which is what I didn't understand that. So again, um, I'm just gonna start talking about these, and some of them, like some of them, another problem I was having is some of them I can remember what they turned into, but I couldn't remember their name. Um, um, and so this is giving me a real um like memory jolt, in terms of what I was doing. So let's talk about first side swipe. So side swipe, um, wait a minute. So side swipe, yeah, and I'm using my phone again. So sorry. So side swipe is of course a robot, but what can he turn into? Well, I'm just Trying to do this. Okay, so we're gonna just start off with the ones that I know. Soundwave. Soundwave, I know was a radio. I know Soundwave was a radio. I'm not gonna, yeah, Soundwave was a radio. And then he would turn into like a robot, like they all did. They all were something else, and then they all turned into um um something. So, oh, okay, thank you. So appreciate the support. I think it looks the same, but maybe that's me. I can't see what I'm seeing on there. So Soundwave was a Decepticon. That's also what I remember about Soundwave. So Soundwave was a Decepticon, and he could hear an Autobot leak. I'm just reading this exact thing. And he used what he hears for to blackmail to advance his status. So um he was definitely with the Decepticons. Um so and then there was I said Shockwave. Who else did I say here? Sideswipe. I can't remember what Sideswipe turned into. Um, there was Bumblebee. Bumblebee. Um, Bumblebee was a hold on. Bumblebee was a Volkswagen. Bumblebee was on the side of the Autobots. Bumblebee was a Volkswagen. And his thing was he had, I don't know what the name of the little human was. Of course, I haven't watched this cartoon in what, 30 years? Yeah, I'm that old. But Bumblebee was a Volkswagen, and he's the one that always volunteered to do something. And here is this Transformers premiered in September 1984 and GoBots in October. So GoBots tried to be the Autobot or Transformers. Um, he also had the best eyesight according to his description. Um, he was second, like he wasn't high in the command, right? Because he was always volunteering to go on missions. But like he was like, you had Optimus Prime. He number one, head honcho in charge, he calls the shots. But sometimes, like Optimus would let Bumblebee think he was in charge, if I can remember this right. And of course, I'm going solely by memory. Um, and I don't think um let me do this a different way because I'm like, what did they turn into? I'm trying to find out what they turned into. I know, like I said, Bumblebee was a Volkswagen. So let me, because that phone is blurring my eyes. Okay. Sorry, guys. I thought the phone was going to work, but my eyes are saying no. I probably need new glasses. What? Mhm. Okay. Okay. So it's I'm still pausing because I'm looking because one of these links told me exactly what they turned into. Like I said, whatchamacallit was um okay, so Bumblebee is a fictional robot character, blah blah blah. And the original toy line and the animated series. I was right. Bumblebee is a small Volkswagen Beetle. And the live action movie, which I didn't watch, and that was terrible. Somehow they determined that he was a Chevrolet muscle car, which didn't make sense because if you watched the cartoon, every time you knew, every time you watched it, you knew, oh, there's a difference between um a Volkswagen and a Chevy sports car. It just didn't make sense. Um, Bumblebee was aboard the Ark when, okay, so that's what it was. So let me jump backwards here before I continue to, uh, let me, okay, wait a minute. So, guys, I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but I'm gonna do it right. Okay, so the Transformers backstory. I didn't talk a lot about, and that I just thought maybe I should talk about the backstory first. So there was a civil war between two factions of sentient robots, the heroic Autobots, led by, of course, Optimus Prime, and the evil Decepticons, led by Megatron, on their dying home planet of Cybertron. That was the name of the planet, Cybertron. So after depleting their planet's resources and pursuing the life-giving Allspark, both armies crash land on Earth, continuing their ancient conflicts in a new environment, often taking alternate forms of vehicles or other objects to blend in. The core mythology involves creator gods like Primus, the source of all Cybertronian life, and the constant struggle of energy, which is energon and control. So that is the backstory of the Transformers. So back to the characters. So the next character is Starscream. Starscream, and I'm not gonna keep saying fictional characters. If you don't know that the don't be like me. Don't drive be like when you're driving and you see a semi truck and you thinking, gee, I wonder what that turned into Optimus Prime. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, these characters are fiction, please. Just know that. That's all I'm asking. But next is Starscream. So Starscream, um, was second in command. Starscream was in second in command in the Decepticons. This guy would always roast Megatron. This one I remember. I don't even have to look it up, although I'm looking at it. So Starscream, like I said, would totally roast Megatron. Um, I am trying to figure out what he transformed himself into. Um, he would do. Oh, he was a fighter jet. Um, And his dream was, of course, to overthrow Megatron and seek control of the Decepticons. Yeah, so that's Starscream. So I'm going to try to go over as many of these characters as possible. So Grimlock. Now this is okay. So Grimlock was a dinosaur. Um, and that was the Dinobots. I'm not going to really talk too much about the Dinobots. So next, I'm going to talk about Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, is another Decepticon. Um, and I don't know what Bone Crusher I think he was let me see what he was looking at this picture. Bone Crusher transforms into pretty much any location across into one, wherever he makes. Was he like a oh, what do they call those? So when you're working construction jobs and it's the thing that moves things, I forget what that's called. Wait a minute. What did I'm trying to see what he turned into. Uh, it doesn't say, but what? Yeah, there's a question. What did Bone Crusher turn into? Anybody know? Because I'm sitting here thinking, oh, it was a not a semi that was Optimus Prime, not a gun that was Megatron, not. Oh, what did? Wait a minute. What did Bone Crusher transform into? A bulldozer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was a bulldozer. That's what it was. So anyway, he just loved hate. That was his whole thing. Hate, hate, hate. That was like all he was good for was hate. That was next one, Thundercracker. Thundercracker is another member of the Decepticons. And usually Thundercracker turned into, let me see. Because see, the Decepticons, I always forget what they turned into. What did Thundercracker transform into? Uh, Fighter Eagle Jet. So he is another one that turned into a jet. He was with the Decepticons. Um, and he considered blah, blah, blah. He considered anything that could leave the ground beneath him. That was Thundercracker. Thundercracker. I don't know why I can't say that right. Bruticus. Bruticus is the strongest of all the Transformers. Um and it doesn't say here he wasn't bright, but I don't know whether he was a Decepticon or a um Autobot. Let's see. Was Bruticus. Oh, he was another one with the Decepticons. Um, so he was another Decepticon. And what did he? I think he turned into a battleship. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the one that's tricky because Bruticus was a combination. So think like for us 80s kids, think about like Voltron, where five things came together. Or for the more younger ones, think about I guess the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but Bruticus is a giant combiner robot. And he had to have Onslaught was the torso head, Brawl was the left leg, Vortex was the left arm, Swindle was the right leg, and Blastoff was the right arm. So it was like a bunch of them came together to make him. So that's Bruticus. And keep selecting Ultra Magnus. Uh, he's a car carrier that converts into a robot. Duh. Really? Um, again, it doesn't tell me. And here, you know what? We're gonna just keep going. Keep it going. Sorry, guys. I'm just really, really lost here. Who didn't love the Transformers? Who was out here talking about Transformers as I mean, what child of the 80s? Any child that grew up around 1984, 85, 86, 87, 88 was like, you know what? Transformers is terrible. There's nobody that hated the show. Not that I knew of, not that whose opinions really mattered. Um, let's see. Uh, and what made this show, it was almost like, I don't want to say a soap opera, but it really was. I mean, you had um real I played something here in the background. So I'm trying to find Jazz. That's the one I'm trying to find. Jazz, I absolutely remember. And I don't know if I talked about Jazz yet, but he was an Autobot. I know that. Um he was I think Jazz was second in command to Optimus Prime. But what did he turn into? Jazz transformed into a Martini Racing Porsche 935 Turbo sports car. That's different. Um, there was Jazz. Of course, y'all know I'm saving the big two for last because I got commentary on them. Um, and I'm trying to get there. There's two more I want to talk about, and this is probably gonna be a real short show because I got a 7 o'clock show. There we go. Rodimus Prime. Now this one, okay, so for some reason, way back during the series, somebody got the idea, hey, let's kill Optimus Prime. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't cry. I might have shed a tear, even though yes, it was a cartoon and no, none of those characters were real. But they got this character called Rodimus Prime. And or I like to just say Hot Rod. Um, he was an Autobot. But what did he turn into? Um, he became the leader of the Autobots when they killed off Optimus Prime's character. I'm gonna try to find the link and put it in here. Okay, so I'm trying to find out. Yeah, so Hot Rod and um Rodimus Prime are the same. I'm trying to figure out what's the name of that movie. Okay, so what movie, cartoon movie? Because not the garbage you go to the movie theater to see. I'm gonna put the link in the section here. Oh shoot. I can't believe I did that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. But what was the name of the movie? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna do this right. I want to put what I'm trying to do, guys, is find the movie where they killed off Optimus Prime. That's how Rodimus Prime became the leader of the group. And I know it's on YouTube, and I'm not gonna play the link because YouTube likes to take me down. Um, yeah, here it is. But I'm trying to find the whole movie. And of course, it's not there, but it's called The Transformers, the movie. Wow, so original. But this movie came out in 86. And so they killed off Optimus Prime. A lot of kids cried, but I wasn't one of them, allegedly. But I wasn't one of them. And I'm gonna find I'll at least put a clip in there. Oh, there it is right there. So I'm just gonna put the link in because of course I can't play it, but there's a whole movie version out here. So again, they got the bright idea to kill off Optimus Prime and have this character named Rodimus Prime. I don't know where that came from, who thought this was a good idea, but they did. Anywho's, that's where Hot Rod came from. And so we're gonna go. I'm saved, like I said, I'm saving my last two. Scourge. Scourge uh, was the leader of the Terracons. That's later on the series. And the human person name was Skip Witwicky, Witwicky. Yeah, he was a human. Um, so that's a human. Then there was Grapple. Grapple, um, I don't know what Grapple turned into. I'm gonna guess a grapple. Oh, classic crane truck mode. Okay, so a crane truck. And so now here comes the battle of the last two that I think, yeah, I'm not going to talk about Brahm, Springer, Snarf. I thought Snarf was Thundercats. Anywho's, we got to talk about these two. You cannot talk about uh, um well, there is Archie, the only female robot, but yeah, I don't really remember. Yeah, and I don't really remember any Archie toys. And was she the original or did she come around in 86? Anywho's, um, who can talk about the Transformers without its most iconic feud? These, okay, now I don't know who Devastator is. So you're gonna have to add, let me look up Devastator before I get to Devastator. Okay, so apparently Devastator is a supervillain appearing in the American comic books. No, this says, wait a minute. That says Marvel Comics, and I'm like, no. Let me put Transformer because I don't know who Devastator is. To be honest, I don't. So Devastator is a massive, powerful Decepticon in combination. Oh, this is another combo one. So yes, I think I did, but that was another name I had. So yes, yeah, Devastator was six objects put together like Voltron, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Scraper, Scavenger, Bone Crusher, Hook, Long Haul, Mixmaster into one giant destructive robot known for overwhelming strength and instinct-driven rage, first appearing in the Generation 1. He embodies pure destruction, often depicted as mindlessly powerful. and serves as a formidable enemy capable of crushing cities and battling multiple Autobots simultaneously. And then they show a video. This one must have been close towards the end of the series because I literally don't remember this. Yeah, I'm like, who, what, and then, but anywho's moving to the I refuse to talk about the Dinobots. I will not talk about the Dinobots. I hated the Dinobots. I didn't like it. To me, they just never existed. Yeah, there was Grimlock, and then nobody else I liked. Um, I get no, no, no. I will not talk about the Dinobots. And some of them, like they have like spin-offs. They have like the alien one, not the alien ones. Well, they were all aliens. They have like the ones where like they were like not they were like uh I forget what they were, but they were like let me let me do this like spin-offs. Um yeah, they had like let's see, all this they had the challenge of the GoBots. Yeah, they had like all these spin-offs, Transformers Go, Transformers Robots, and those were movies. Um I won't talk about the motion pictures, but yeah, me, I'm not a big old fan of the Dinobots. I'm trying to think of those other Autobots. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more search before I get back to what I was just talking about. So, uh, oh gosh, I can't think about it. So I'll probably remember and be like, oh, that's what it was. But so, um, I'm going to move on to the final two. Yes, they are together. Yes, this was my favorite part of the show. These are my two favorite characters in the show. Um, you got to talk about Optimus Prime and Megatron. Simultaneously hit hooked at the hip. These two were epic. The feud was epic. The shade was epic. Everything about them. Megatron, of course, was a gun. I mean, literally, Megatron was just a gun. But what made, wait a minute, let me make sure that's right. I'm almost certain that's right. So, what did Megatron, not Megatron, Megatron. Megatron turned into, they say many things, but all I remember was the handgun. Um, But they say also here he turned into a jet, a tank, a T-Rex, or a dragon. I just remember the gun. That's all I remember was just the gun. Megatron, of course, was the leader of the Decepticons. So Megatron um is, of course, again the leader of the Decepticons. But he had more people on his own side hating on him than anybody. Like everybody on the Autobots loved Optimus Prime. They would never betray Optimus Prime. Whatever Optimus Prime said, it just went. Not with the Decepticons. The Decepticons were like all up in Megatron's face. Every decision he made, every move he wanted to do, they were always, 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 always questioning. And it was really, it was like, okay, they're doing this to be funny. And it really was funny. But he the character was so funny and um Of course, the football player Calvin Johnson's nickname was Megatron. But he's also, I forgot this, Megatron he's feared by the other side, but like I said, his own side drags him through the mud. Um, he can adjust his gun to any size. He can allow another transformer or human to fire the gun when he transforms. He has a robot arm. He can fire electric blasts from his hands, laser blasts from his eyes, and reprogram computers with the port of his head. Megatron is a descendant of a military hardware robots created by, and I'm not going to get this right, Quintessons and their world in Cybertron. In conflict between two robotic factions, the Decepticons and Autobots, the Autobots' invention of Transformers gave the advantage, leading to their victory, blah, blah, blah. Um, Megatron also, and this is one I always forget, Megatron reformatted into Galvatron. Um, and that was for a G1 television series. I didn't see this one, but apparently, like they rebooted him or reframed him into this Galvatron character. Um, and it had him temporarily cooperating with Optimus Prime, and then blah blah blah. There's books about him, a comic strip. He appeared in the Marvel comics. Of course, the movie. I would love to show a picture, but I'm afraid that YouTube will take me down again. Um, there's of course fan favors. And that's pretty much it about Megatron. That's the second favorite. So easy peasy, number one favorite Transformer Optimus Prime. I said I wasn't gonna rank them, but yeah, Optimus Prime is my favorite. First of all, he's a semi truck. Yep, I don't even have to look at this one. I already know. Megatron. Optimus Prime is a semi truck. He is the leader of the Autobots. What Optimus Prime says goes. Nobody questions Optimus Prime. Nobody is like disrespecting Optimus Prime. When you put Optimus Prime on your lips, you're putting some respect on his name. This guy is my favorite Transformer, period. And I loved his saying, fall in and roll out. Oh, I knew, okay, it's battle time now. I mean, nobody ever came to him in the Autobots and like, let's overthrow Optimus Prime. That never happened. Um, of course, again, they got the really whack idea to kill Optimus Prime, and again, hundreds of thousands of children. He maybe was one of the people that cried when that happened. Again, watch this movie, watch it right there, and you'll see why. Um, just favorite everything Optimus Prime did. They really did a good job of painting him as a protagonist. Protagonist. Everything was from his point of view. Even the Decepticons low key respected Optimus Prime. Whatever he said, it went. Nobody questioned him. Nobody backtalked him. When he said he was the leader of the group, they was like, "Yes, sir, yes." It wasn't any question who was the leader of the Autobots, and nobody was coming for his job. Nobody. So, guys, I did that in under 45 minutes. Um, and I want to keep going, but um, I have a show tonight to do. The last episode of the Justice is Here podcast is going to be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk about some things that are happening in the party. and want to make sure that everybody tunes into that. I also want to make sure you all know that this is the last episode of the show, of this show, until January the 24th, 2026 at 7 p.m. So this show will move from 2 to 7 p.m. And remember, the last show I do on my channel, um, it is the Christmas show that's going to be the day after Christmas. That's going to be on a Friday. So join me on that show as I go through my favorite Christmas movies, my favorite Christmas sayings, Christmas toys, Christmas meals, Christmas attire, Christmas songs, just Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. And as I share with you all, as I've done years past, the true meaning of Christmas, the story behind Christmas, why we celebrate it. It's going to be a great show. But keep in mind this show, the one that you're watching right now, the Saturday show will move to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. So we will not come back until Saturday, January the 24th at 7 p.m. Remember to subscribe, hit that like button, make a comment, tell 5 people about this episode, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Don't forget to support me on Patreon. We're going to have a great 2026. If I don't see you until tonight, please tune in tonight. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you at 7. Bye bye.